Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about a film that I've just seen, starring Casey Affleck and Anna Pinowski. I think that might be how you pronounce it. It was written, directed and produced by Casey Affleck, called Light of My Life. It's a good father and daughter character film, but could be perceived as a bit of a depressing film for some as well. Basically, what happened is 10 years ago, half the population of the Earth was killed off by this virus that killed off pretty much the entire female population. There are kind of like little pockets of surviving females that are in places known as the bunker. But it's basically a story about Casey Affleck and his daughter there, played by Anna, moving from place to place across the wilderness and through the forests, camping, surviving. And the main thing is that Casey has to ensure that his daughter is actually seen as a boy, because there should not be any females in the world. It's dress as a boy, act as a boy. Sometimes that slips. The character, comes across some clothes in an old abandoned house, puts on a dress, and that infuriates her father, who's only trying to keep her safe. From time to time, they'll run into various people out in the middle of the woods, or if they find an old abandoned house, they try to make their home for the time being while they get out of the cold and that sort of thing. Maybe her father was worried that maybe someone kind of twigged that this, if in fact wasn't a boy, when they went into town to get some supplies, and he's unsure as to what will happen if they'll come after them. That is actually the case. Unfortunately, this group of men track down Casey Affleck and his screen daughter in order to try to take her away from him. But he fights them off, all that he can to protect her. Along the way, he's teaching her how to survive in the wilderness. They have like backup plans, like a red alert. So they have plans in case they are intercepted, or if they need to make a quick run for it. The best way I can describe the film is imagine The Walking Dead without the dead. So basically that's the story. You've got desolated towns, abandoned houses that have not been lived in for years with dust, and they just move from one place to the next, pretty much like they do in The Walking Dead. It's not a fast-paced film, it's a character-driven film showing the love between father and daughter and their relationship. There is a little bit of comedy in there, but it is a very low-key, kind of apocalyptic, depressing film, maybe for some. They do occasionally do some flashbacks to when the daughter was born and what life was like, and the sudden realization that his wife has actually been infected by this virus. And they flash back a few times throughout the film. His wife, played by Elizabeth Moss from The Invisible Man. Casey Affleck is just known as Dad, and the daughter is known as Rag, and then Elizabeth Moss is known as Mum. That's basically the main cast. There's a few little extra co-stars in it, but it's mainly these two for the most part of the film. There is a bit of humour in it, especially when they're both sitting around the dinner table in one of these old abandoned houses, and Dad tries to explain to his daughter how she became and where babies come from. It's quite amusing little story as he tries to struggle to explain to her. She's actually really good. I haven't seen her in anything before, but she's a really good actress. Casey Affleck was fantastic in this film, probably one of the best that I've seen him in, as he struggles to protect his daughter and they cross all these wastelands. The music is really good. It's not a happy soundtrack. It's a very kind of apocalyptic end of the world depressing kind of music, so it's not going to give you the jollies. And if you're in a pretty down mood, it might not be the best film to watch. But yeah, it was really good. I was really impressed with it. Cinematography was fantastic with all these landscapes, snowy mountains and these forests. The sound was great, which is in English, even though this is a German release, is in English. DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, which did upscale it to Neuro. Nice vibrant voices, no problem with the dialogue, the occasional good surrounds, especially when they were walking around one of these creaky old houses, and one of them went upstairs and you could hear them literally upstairs and walking around and door slamming. It's 2 hours, just over 2 hours long. The last 15 minutes of the film was really tense, really edge of the seat, as this group of men try to catch up with them, and in a few places kind of vicious. But that's a man trying to protect his daughter. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good film. Like I say, it's not going to be a fast-paced action zombie thriller or that kind of thing. You know, it's basically father and daughter survival against the odds. And even though this is fiction, sometimes I think to myself, it's not far from fact. Even though this virus killed off, you know, most of the female population of the earth. If we just imagine our COVID-19, just imagine if that had actually been an airborne virus, and it mutated and targeted some specific gene or, you know, part of the DNA. You never know. It could have happened. So looking at it now, you know, years ago it would just be looked at as a fictional end of the world apocalyptic film, you know, virus. But it's not an impossibility. It's not an impossibility now. It could happen. It's just the world we live in now. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Extras, there's not really any extras, so to speak. There's a trailer and a couple of other trailers that are in German, but from what I can tell on the menu, which is in German, there's no special, you know, no special features, makings of, or things like that. It is just over 2 hours long. It is region locked B, according to the back here. But yeah, it's a really, really good film. I really enjoyed it. How would I rate it on a scale of 10? I'm going to give Light of My Life 8 viruses. Yeah. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Even though some scenes people could perceive as slow. And I did look at some of the reviews on IMDb, and people were saying it's slow, it's boring, nothing happens. It's not an action film. It's a survival tale about a father and a daughter surviving against the odds and coming to terms with what's happened in their life and trying to get through it. So if you look at it that way, you might be pleasantly surprised. But if you're in for that sort of thing, definitely give it a go. I picked this up from Amazon Germany for about, I think it was about £10. I don't think there's a UK Blu-ray release for it. There may be a DVD, but not Blu-ray release. Fantastic. So that is my review of Light of My Life, starring Casey Affleck and Anna Pinowski. Yeah. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed my review of Light of My Life. If you liked the video, give it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share. And I shall see you all on the next video. Bye!